Hello.
Hey.
How's everyone doing? Welcome into the stream. Something about being in a more casual setup right now makes me feel like I'm just like on FaceTime. Like I feel very chill.
I love
It's
you there
kind
in
of
that
nice.
chair. So
Thank
casual,
you.
it's just like we're getting coffee together.
I know. Love, love. How's everyone doing? Welcome into the stream. Can you hear that?
Yes. I fear I can hear the robot
Mhm.
vacuum.
She's wrapping up. She'll be done
Yeah,
soon.
she's
She'll be
work
done soon.
she's on the clock. We gotta let her work.
We do. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, amazing. Let us know what you're working on today. Both Alyssa and I are in revision mode. Alyssa, do you want to?
Mhm.
I feel like everyone knows you, but do you want to introduce
Yeah.
yourself, what you're working on, etc.?
Absolutely. I'm Alyssa. I'm writing a thriller. I'm on draft 2. I'm on chapter 3. Should be on chapter, I don't know, 27, but this is where we are. We're on chapter 3. And I feel like the book is fighting a battle against me. That's how it's going. I'm just trying to figure out, I don't know. Just trying to make sure that the scene is cohesive, and I'm just piecing it together. So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. And what is this project?
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
want to give a quick?
probably should do that a little log line, one might say. Okay, so it's an adult thriller. Goes by the alias Project Sunshine. It's about an optimist who gets kidnapped, and it's a dual POV. And the other
Incredible.
POV is her reluctant kidnapper.
Love, love.
Yeah, what are you working on?
Amazing. I'm working on draft 3 of Unraveling, my dystopian fantasy. And we are now in Act 2, Chapter 17. But I think, at least for the beginning of this stream, I'm going to be going back through Act 2 so far, seeing how it's feeling. Since I spent a lot of time solidifying Act 1, I want to make sure that where we're going now is solid. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the vibes. Those are the vibes. Welcome to everyone in the chat. We have some fun, familiar faces. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit.
I know we're so behind.
Hi, Ari.
Ari! Oh my gosh.
So happy to see you. Joy is here. Emily's here.
Hello,
Squad up. Hannah. Hi. Welcome.
Hannah.
We love Hannah. I saw Ian somewhere too. Hello, hello. Beta reading. Very fun. Love it. Let's see. Hi, Julia. Welcome. Working on last edits and read through of your fall whip before beta readers see it.
Ooh.
Very nice. We have some plotting. Fun, fun. Amazing. Gonna hit 25K words during this
Oh
stream.
my gosh, Joy. We love to see it.
We love to see it. Oh my God, Mick is here. Wow.
Hey.
All the besties rolling up. We'd love to see it. Amazing. Oh, hi, Jessica. Welcome, welcome.
Oh my gosh, Jessica. Fancy meeting you here.
Wow. Love. Ryan. Wow. This is kind of crazy. Love to see it. Love to see it. Cool. Do we want to do like a warm-up question and then we'll get into a sprint?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes. Feel free to drop some warm-up questions as I pull up the focus timer and then we'll jump in. I'm excited. Hi, V. Welcome to your first stream. Continuing on your first draft. Awesome. Love to hear it. Wow. Do you have a drink with you, Alyssa?
Just water. You know how I be. I was drinking one of those super intense juice situations where it's like 17 gardens are in this one bottle of juice, like those ones. And
Yes.
I think it was too many vegetables. It was like my body was like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Pull it back. So I'm taking a break from that one.
Oh my God.
More
That's
information
so
than you needed, than anyone.
No, I love
needed.
it. I love it. That's amazing. Okay.
Do you have a question?
I actually did have a question that I just thought of in the moment right there. Which POV are you favoring so far? Like, which are you liking more?
Whichever one I'm not in. Like, actually, I feel like I keep flipping. But I have to think of it in terms of like chapters that are done and that I'm happy with, not the chapters that are not done, because I feel like Eli, so my POVs are Eli and Greer, and I feel like Eli's chapters are rougher on the first draft, but Greer's are harder in a different way. I don't know. I do like Greer. She's more fun to, she has more personality, like more voice than Eli does. Eli's very creepy, sus, like not. I cannot relate to him. He's very like, I'm doing this, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm going here, and I'm thinking
spooky,
about
scary
things.
man.
He's a very spooky, scary skeleton man. So yeah.
So fair. Yeah, I could see how that would be tricky to write.
What about you? Whose POV is your fave?
Oh, this is a great question. Varen's POV feels very fresh just because it's so new. So like there's like a little shininess to it. And a lot of the scenes that I was writing in his POV are completely new scenes. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
That being said, I do feel like it's given me an appreciation for the way that I can write in Vera's head. I just combine their names. In Rhea's head. Because Varen's a little bit more plain in like his interiority. And so I kind of like that. Yeah. In Rhea, I feel like I can be a little bit more like, I don't know, flowery, I guess.
Yes, fun and
fun and fresh. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Sorry, I accidentally clicked on the wrong comment, to be honest with you. Ari asked, Rose and Thorn, favorite thing that happened this week versus worst thing that happened this week.
Okay, I'm just checking my audio, just turning it up a little bit. Okay. Sorry. Let me know if it's better or worse. But Rose and Thorn of the week. How real do we want to get here, Ari? I'm kidding.
Let's get so real. Let's get so real.
I think my favorite thing. I wish it wasn't taking this long to. Oh, I've been writing with friends a lot this week, so that has been really fun. And I think my least favorite thing is that I went to the dentist this morning.
That's so real.
I'm sorry, that was aggressive. Let me just spit directly into the microphone. Just an ASMR channel.
I actually think I share the same favorite thing. Alyssa and I have been writing together a lot this week, and that's been a highlight for sure. And Andy, obviously.
Yes.
Thorn, probably just that I've been a little anxious this week. You know, when you enter those modes where, like, most of the time I'm very good at being with myself. Like, I'm a solo girly. I can be in silence. I'm good. But if I'm having, like, a really anxious time, I need to fill space. So it's been a lot of, like, watching my friends' videos, like, needing company from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed. And it just, you know, I'm just embracing it. I'm like, I'm just feeling this way right now. We're going to let myself use the crutches. Like, it is what it is, you know?
Yes. I've been big into my healing era as well. And let me tell you, the biggest game changer is to like give myself a lot of permission to like be feeling how I'm feeling. And so I'll literally walk around my house and be like, I'm allowed to feel gross. I am allowed to feel anxious right now. I am allowed to crash out. Because the second you start to be like, no, I can't do this, then it's like, no, I'm doing it. I can't, I have to, like, it just, no, it's okay. It's okay to crash out. Yeah. So.
We love. Aw. What a sweet way to start. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, cute. How many minutes do we want to do for our first sprint?
What do you have on the focus timer right now?
Right now, I have nothing on the focus timer because I haven't clicked on it.
Love.
Oh, I have 15, but that's like not. We can't.
No, we can't do 15. Are you kidding? Well, how about a solid 30?
Whoa. Okay, ambition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too many?
No, I love it. I love
Okay.
it. I feel like people in the chat have also been loving the 30s lately.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, best of luck, everyone. I'll pull that up real quick. Okay. Also, I don't know how you're feeling, Alyssa, but I think I'll go off camera for the sprint. It's just less stressful that way.
I mean, I'm going to be reading through, and I'll probably be sitting in a chair off camera. So, sort of a similar vibe. We are
Okay,
working though, and we can see you, and we can see if you're chatting and not writing. Okay.
well, we keep our eyes peeled. On the flip side, though, you should put in the chat any questions that you have for after
Yes.
the first sprint.
Now you can put your chats in.
Yes, now's the time.
But the
Submit your
second
cues.
that timer starts, I am sitting next to you in your house.
Wow.
Okay, never mind. Got too aggressive. We went too aggressive.
So ominous. I love it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm in Eli's POV right now. I gotta get in my stalker
turn it
creepy
off.
kidnapper era.
Okay, method writer. Love, love. Okay. I'm going to start this timer now. I'm not going to forget to do that. Good luck. Alyssa! Hey guys.
Hey.
Oh, I gotta remove the script. How did that go?
Actually, well, question mark, which is
Oh,
shocking to everyone. I got through about 4 pages of line editing,
amazing.
which is much better than my usual 1 for a 25-minute sprint, so. But I'm
Oh,
marking these things up. Like, look at this. I don't, well, you can't see. It's complete, like, look.
oh yeah. Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
a full line
recognizable.
edit.
Yeah.
Full line
Yeah.
edit.
It's a lot of rearranging of sentences just for flow. But how about you?
Mine was actually really good. I mean, I was doing rereading and tweaking, which takes a lot less out of me, but I'm pleased with how these scenes are flowing together overall, which is good.
That's exciting.
Yes, we love. Um, yeah, feeling pretty good about it, dare I say. So that's good. How was everyone else's sprint? Good, hopefully.
Everyone
Oh,
got a lot done.
hopefully so. Seems like it. I don't know if you're still here, Cody, but hello if you are. Hi. Amazing. Also, I made the horrible mistake of not catching up on chat before the sprint ended, so I'm kind of doomed. I'll be so serious.
You are doomed. I think there was only one question that I saw come in. Actually, the chat was pretty quiet. I was monitoring like I said I would. And people were locked in.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Looks like we did have some people trickle in, so
Yes.
welcome. Welcome if you popped in. Um, okay, cool. Amazing. Looks like everyone had a productive sprint. 400 words. That's super solid.
Nice.
Congrats on reaching 12K words. That's exciting.
We love.
We love. We love. Amazing. Okay, cool. Love to see it. Well, if you want to drop some cues now, we can go through that. Um, you were scaring everyone into, your face was so intimidating when we started the timer. You were like,
I was locked in. I was making sure because in my morning streams, people like to just chat the whole time and then they get the finger. And then sometimes I bring a banner out onto the screen that yells at them to go and write. But we won't have to do that here. We're more casual and chill here.
That's actually kind of amazing, though. I love that. The aggression is everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Congrats.
Yes, Joy.
25K, baby. That's amazing. Love. Love. Okay. I think we'll start with this, which you I feel like I've been talking about recently anyway, but what's the most difficult part of your whip right now?
There's so many difficult parts, frankly. I would say the it's unfamiliar territory to me. Like I feel like all of the edits that I'm doing to this book are different than the edits I've had to do in the past. And I think it's because I've like learned from my past mistakes. Like I feel like I used to make a lot of the same writing choices that would lead to me having to make similar types of revisions. And like, for example, character motivations, like I just wouldn't figure those out before I started drafting, which is don't recommend. Or I thought I'd figure them out and they weren't. And this one, it just feels like all of the problems I'm running into are problems I haven't had before, which I think is good. I think it's like growth. But that makes it harder to figure out how to fix them.
Right.
So
right.
yes, like the voice, I've never struggled to find a voice before. And this one is giving me a run for my money. But yeah. Yeah. How about you?
I feel like this is something that I've been talking about a lot in content lately, but I feel like for me, the hardest part has been being in this weird sort of in between space where it's like, on the one hand, this is a draft 3, but on the other hand, it feels so new and different. So it's like holding in both of my hands that I've spent time with the story and wanting to take advantage of that. Also trying to distance myself from past versions of it to make it feel fresh and elevated. So that's been hard because it is pretty much a rewrite, but also I'm like leaning on obviously all the things I know about these characters in the story. So
Yeah.
I guess that's the hard thing, like balancing that because I do want it to feel fresh and new and fun.
Yes.
But I have a lot of history with the project already. So
Yeah.
mhm.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, see? Oh my god, Hannah is like queen of good questions. Truly, truly. What's something you feel like isn't talked about enough in the writer space?
Mm,
Conversation moment.
I have a lot of opinions, and I'm trying to figure out which one is for this moment. Which opinion is for this moment in time. I think, and I'll talk specifically about short form. Like I see a lot of people on short form talking very differently about writing than how we do on YouTube, and so I don't know if this is necessarily something we don't talk about here, but I feel like everybody's making it up. Everyone, we're all making it up, and I feel like sometimes people talk with a lot of authority about things, and it's like, yeah, that maybe works for a lot of people, but literally there are no rules. I mean, okay. There are rules. There are like grammar and spelling and like general genre conventions. And there are actually a lot of rules, but nobody is like this big authority on things. And I feel like we don't talk about the nuances of that enough, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on short form, it's very like, this is how you get an agent. I had 17 full requests, and this is how you do. Whereas on YouTube, I feel like we're all just talking about our own process, but we're not really acknowledging like my process is not the same every time, and my process is different from everyone else's, and they're all equally, maybe not equally good, but like none of them is more correct than the other.
Yeah. I think it's because in content, like what is snappy is this very more of like
Yes.
black and white like discussion of things where it's like this is the right way, this is the wrong way, like a divisive firm statement is what draws attention. Like that's why those tips videos that are like never do this on the first page of your manuscript are like, oh well, I got to know what that is, like, you know, not that I ever click on those, but you know what I mean. It's like it makes you feel like if you don't have this piece of information, you're missing out or you're going to be at a disadvantage or whatever. And I feel like it's very, I don't know, kind of fear driven. Like I feel like it's a lot easier to be creative when you're not coming from things in that like scarcity, fearful place of like being so scared to be bad that you're not letting yourself find how you can be good as an individual.
Yes.
Because yeah, it's a lot of, I feel like, fear-based discussion sometimes in writer spaces.
Yes.
T.
How about you?
Oh, I was just gonna piggyback off yours and be like, there's the question answered. Interesting. What's something you feel like isn't, oh god, I didn't come up with something. Let me think. What's something you feel like isn't talked about enough in the writer space? I was just trying to actively listen to you, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I feel like we talk about a lot of things. You know, like most things are talked about by somebody. So it's hard to.
I guess something that I wish people talked more about the full extent of the process, the length of the process, like just how much of an undertaking it is. And like there was more discussion around, hey, it's okay if this takes you a long time. This is what you can expect, blah, blah, blah. Because we've talked about this before, but I do feel like a lot of the content on YouTube is like a little bit more high level, a little bit more focused on like starting a new concept, etc. And I think it would have been helpful to see more revision content, more these are the tough thralls of fixing a book. So yeah, I guess I would love to see more of that on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love. Okay. Let's see. Oh, sitting at your first in-person writing group. How fun.
Cody, that's exciting.
Yes. Yes, we love that art that takes time. Very true. Very true. Yeah. I feel like when I joined YouTube, I thought that like people taking a long time on a project was an outlier. And I didn't realize that that's actually how it is for most people, is that it takes a while, especially with the first book, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's good to see that represented, even if it's less snappy, you know?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Let me see. Which question shall we jump to? Ooh, do you have any stories you feel like you're not ready to tell?
So many. I am not somebody who has like a bank of ideas at all times, you know? So there's not like a specific story that's in my head that I'm like, I have to wait for that one. But I feel like there are definitely certain like types of stories that I'm not ready for yet because I just haven't like gotten there yet. Like I don't think write that's such a lie. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say I wouldn't write a story where like a main character is like a parent, but I literally did. So I actually can't say that. But I think like a story that's about like somebody who like a story about a life experience that I haven't gotten to yet. So like somebody who's been married for 30 years, you know, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like books that are not like two 20-year-olds meeting and having a plot, you know. I do like books that are a little bit different. So I would like to write stuff like that, but I don't think I'm quite there yet because I feel like there's just like a different level. Like I feel like that'll be like when I'm older, I'll want to write older characters. But I also think there's certain genres. Like I don't know, I'm just now kind of leaning into I could write a big, huge fantasy series because I love big fantasy series and not like a duology, which I feel like is a lot more manageable. Like I feel like I could write a duology right now. I don't know if I could write a 7-book fantasy series. It's like really expansive and I would love to one day. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel similarly. I feel like for me, there's certain like challenges that I feel like I'm not ready for. Like for example, I would love to experiment with different formats, like a dual timeline situation where it's like a past versus present, you know, situation, or like sci-fi, like certain genres, things that I'm intimidated by, and I'm like, I just truly don't know if I'm advanced enough to execute that, or like more high fantasy, like things like that. I just don't feel equipped for at the moment. So that's more so what I think of when I think of things I'm not ready to tell, not so much like concepts.
Yeah.
Although I do want to be able to write more romance in the future, but I honestly don't feel equipped at the moment. I feel very insecure writing romance.
Girl, let me tell you, I have never had a boyfriend and I'm out here and I feel the same way. I'm like, I mean, you probably have more like actual romance experience than me. And I'm just like, I am making it up. I don't know. I used to interview people. I was like, tell me about how to kiss someone. Like, what are you saying before you kiss? Like, how is it going? Like, what are the, so I definitely feel that too. Like a really, I couldn't write one of those books where it's like a pure romance, like a really intimate, like emotional romance. Like I can write a book where there's like a murder going on and they're falling in love at the same time. You know,
right.
the vibes. But okay, back to what you said about dual timeline. This is reminding me of like the first serious book I wrote after high school, like in college, was like a dual reality book with I was not capable of executing that.
It worked.
In my
humble
not
opinion.
capable of that. I mean, legally it worked, but it was like, why did I try to go so ambitious? Like, just write like a fun little thriller, Alyssa. You didn't have to do this. But I don't know which way is best. Like, I don't know if it served me well to try something super ambitious that I like really didn't have the chops for yet. Yeah. Or if I should have started with something different. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always like, how do you gauge how much challenge is too much challenge? I feel like that's a bit of a thing that you have to wonder about as a writer. Yeah, I will say the whole real life experience thing, like, I know that this is an annoying answer because obviously it does help to have some like real life romantic experience, but truly I will die on the hill that having experienced romance and trying to write it are two completely different beasts. Not only because book romance is a different thing than real life romance, but also just because you've experienced something doesn't mean you've thought about how to express it through words. Like those are different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I've read a lot of books where people fall in love. Like, I feel like I got it. I got it in the bag.
That's all you need to know. I feel like that's all you need to know. Yeah. But I feel like I kind of hide behind romance as a subplot because I'm like, okay, like even if someone's not completely sold on this romance, there's a lot of other stuff going on to entertain them. I think why the idea of writing a romance stresses me out is the person buying into and being into the romance is literally the crux of the book succeeding.
Of the book. Yeah.
You know? So that's hard.
That's why I love writing like a toxic romance. Not in terms of like they end up together and they're bad for each other, but in terms of like they're in a relationship that's bad. Like, and that they exit. I love writing a man who's horrible. Like, it's so much easier to get someone to hate a character than to get someone to like buy into a relationship. And then it's easy to juxtapose, like, look at this terrible man and look at this really nice one. Like, you like him better, right? You know?
Right. You're creating the contrast there. Yep. That makes total sense. And Ari makes a great point. If you read real life dialogue in fiction, you'd be like, this sucks. So I feel like real life experience does not always translate to writing. Absolutely. This is also a good point. If books were too much like reality, I wouldn't be a reader. Facts. Okay, maybe we'll do one more and then we'll dive into a second sprint.
Yeah.
What's the strangest thing you've had to research?
Oh, so many. I used to make these videos where I was like, here's my search history for the last week. That was like years ago. And I end up researching a lot of like police code and like how procedure works and like what you are arrested, like what a charge would be for a certain crime and like how that would be prosecuted. You know, it's like a lot of like really in the weeds of that. But I've definitely looked up like certain poisons and like how much evidence does someone need to possess to like have reasonable suspicion, like things that if someone read that, like I don't know if you've seen that clip of like they're in court and they're reading like at 9:58 they googled how to like, and it's like all the things that happened to the victim are just like read off of the search history. Like I definitely have those search histories, but I mostly end up on Reddit a lot. Yeah, just looking at like a lot of I can't tell you some of them because they would like majorly spoil the book pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my worst one was the one on the retreat when first of all, I had flown the day before or whatever.
That's so bad.
Oh, my computer's going to die. Let me plug this in that the stream doesn't like go awry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so literally on the retreat, I had just flown and I was researching how to make a homemade explosion. I'm not going to use the actual word for fear of getting flagged. But needless to say, that was not looking very innocent because I was researching like using everyday chemicals. And I was like, this is actually so bad. I'm going to be stopped at TSA.
Were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, good.
So yeah, that's probably the worst search I've ever had. And I don't normally have situations like that because I'm not writing thrillers or like crime situations. So that was kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
Love. Oh, snake venom. I've researched a lot about snake venom as well. Very
also
real.
A little research tip for you all if you're writing any crime things. The FBI database, like there is a lot of like publicly available information on the FBI database. Let me tell you, you can go back years and I looked up like you can search by crime and I looked up like armed robberies and you can see like how many people died, what were the weapons, what was the motive, how much money was stolen, how many years they got in prison, like the details going back years. And then I could see all the percentages, like this percentage of bank robberies had fatalities and this percentage didn't. And let me tell you, the FBI database. Highly recommend.
The more you know. The more you know. Ultimate recommendation. Love it. Amazing. Okay. Shall we get into a second sprint?
Yes. Yes. Great. From the FBI to writing.
The transition is
We love.
everything. The transition is everything. What are we feeling for this next sprint, ladies and gentlemen? Should we do another 30? Would that be crazy?
We can. Okay, but wait. I remembered one really specific Google search I want to share before we go into the
Share.
sprint.
Share.
It was. I don't think this book will ever see the light of day, so I'm going to share it. I looked up, can you still talk if you've been stabbed in the jugular with a fork? Because I needed someone to have like a last words kind of moment, and they'd been stabbed in the neck with a fork. I think you've read this book. And you can.
Good to know. The more
and
you
then
know.
And then you die, but like you can. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's my Google search.
That's amazing.
I'm thinking 30.
I love that.
Did we already decide on 30 and I just kind of blacked out while you said that?
I think we should do 32.
I think we should do 32.
32 sounds so great.
Yeah.
32?
Yeah.
People are on board. Okay, cool. I've already put it up there. And
it's already started.
Well, it's paused at 31:59. It's paused. Don't get
Okay. Okay, everybody, lock in.
Yeah, leave your final questions and then lock the frick in. Okay. Sayonara. Good luck.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Oh, sorry. Did you ask how it's going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I finished chapter 3, but don't get too excited because that doesn't actually mean it's done at all. But on the line level, edit pass situation. So now I'll put it into the book. So yeah, that is exciting.
Into the book. Nice.
How about you?
Still going great over here. Not to say anything great. I actually think I'm learning that I love this type of like little tinker cleanups when the chapters are good. Like when they're bad,
Yes.
it's not fun. But when they're in a good shape, it's like, oh, I'll clean up this sentence here, and you can see everything so clearly. It's the best.
It is fun because then it's like every small change makes it so much better rather than
Yes.
like when everything needs to be changed, it's just a mess.
Mhm.
But yes, love.
So having the time of my life, and I love that, like when I'm doing this type of work, like I could do this all day. Like I could like do this tweaking all
Yes.
day versus like drafting. I'm like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I'm like, oof, okay, that's
I'm
a
done.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, love that we've been having productive sessions. How was everyone else's session? We got some great questions during that one, so that's fun and fresh. Plotted a new chapter and we read an old chapter, and then cried.
Oh, love. I love a cry.
because of the reread or out of
Just
pain?
a general cry, unrelated to the writing.
Yeah, let us know. 453 words, nice. 480, great. Sorry for startling everyone with the chime. Sometimes I go out of my way to pause it before the sound goes off. But today I was just feeling like being in the zone until the sound prompted me. So sorry, guys. Okay, do you want to answer a couple little cues?
Yeah.
Fun. Okay. First.
I write this very second, actually.
Actually,
no news to report. Just checking.
Looking at it right this moment. Wow.
I mean, I saw the Data Explorer tab and I have it open, of course. It's one of those tabs that just stays open on my computer at all times, and then I'll just refresh it.
That sounds super healthy. Yep.
It is. I've been checking it much less today.
T. She's growing.
Take that. Yeah.
Love. Opinions on dual or multi POV. Well, we're both writing dual right now. That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you think dual is going to be your new standard, Alyssa?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to get to dual. Like I did 3 in single POV, 3 books, I think. Yeah. And I think it'll depend on the book, but given that I'm kind of settling into my genre of like thrillers that have a really heavy romantic subplot, like I feel like it's nice to have a second POV just in thriller in general, because you can have, there's this really common like mystery thriller story element that's like called the ticking bomb. You know, we were talking about that earlier, where if you can see that there's something like that under the table, it makes the conversation more interesting. And so that's kind of the theory, but it's easier to do stuff like that with 2 POVs. Like you know something's going on because somebody saw it, and then the other person doesn't know that. So it's just like a lot easier to do those kind of things with dual. So I'm liking that. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I think dual is fun. Like it widens the amount that you can experience. If these characters are drastically different, gives you a fresh flavor. Yeah, I think now that I'm experiencing it, I'm like, I really do get the appeal.
It's addicting.
It is. I'm like, how could I ever go back? Yeah, I agree though with like a strong romance subplot, it really does add a lot to be able to see the other person's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
T, love. Um, how do you both approach the first drafting stage / manage overwhelm while figuring out how your plot elements fit together?
That is the question of the century, Emily.
It really is.
I'm trying to figure this out because every time I write a book, I'm like, how do I do this again? Like, how do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is so hard because there's so many things to balance all together. And for me, this is not going to be a helpful answer at all. It's just a bit like I've learned to trust that I'm going to figure it out and to just start trying to piece it together. Because I think the longer that you sit and think, like, how is all of this going to come together? And just thinking about, like, there's so many things that need to fit, then it's very overwhelming. But my suggestion would be to focus on like the core of the story. So for me, that is like, I think actually, I know I said there were no rules, but this is kind of a rule of like, what is your main character's motivation? And also, you could think about the main conflict. Like, why is the main conflict happening? Right. And one way that I kind of identify, like, what are all the pieces I need to fit together is I'll like ask a lot of questions and I'll just write down all of the questions that I have. It doesn't mean I need to have answers for them, but even writing down, like, why would they do this? What is the motivation for this character coming involved? How do they get to the, like, just writing all of that down, then your subconscious sort of is working on it. And it's really fascinating the way that our brains like put together information subconsciously. I don't understand. I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't understand how, but it always like is the case that I can like that things fit together. That you're like if you just start trusting the plot and then like you do have to sometimes work on it of like okay, what are different ways that this character's motivation could work and you have to wrestle with it a little bit, but like don't feel like you have to fit everything right away. Just focus on one element and then weave the rest of it through. And I always start with what do I want this book to have? Like what are things that I want to be in it and how can I connect those? Yeah. It's a big question. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with that answer, but
That's great advice. That's great advice. I think the biggest mistake that I made with my first draft, as kind of my answer to this question, was that I had the perspective of like always just keep moving. Like even if I'm confused, even if I'm lost, even if I don't know if this scene is doing what it needs to do, just keep moving, right? Because it'll just and I'll get to the end and then blah. I think the advice that I would give for a first draft is like use a variety of angles and strategies to look at the book. Like Alyssa was saying, I feel like as well, like ask yourself questions, take time to look at the plot and then draft a scene, do some rereading, blah, blah, blah. Like I know this is not the conventional drafting advice, but I feel like if you're feeling overwhelmed, reviewing what you have, spending time looking at your outline throughout the drafting process, like continually refamiliarizing yourself with the wider arc and the wider story can help you feel less like you're completely like in no man's land. So that would be my advice because I feel like the mistake that I made was like I was approaching each scene in such a silo of just like let me just get the next X words on the page and I wasn't being intentional enough about plot and stuff. So yeah.
I also think this is hard. Like I feel like this kind of goes into the plotter pantser discussion, you know, like I feel like this question kind of is sitting in that. And I feel like I've come to learn like either I need to plot all of it out to really know how does it all weave together and like I do all of this weaving and like putting together pieces in that plotting stage, or if you are a pantser or if you have pantsed a book, getting through that book as quickly as possible, as messily as possible, and getting to the end right away. but only doing that for the first draft. Then really looking at it and making sure that it all comes together before you like sit down and really write it. Because if you're spending like the passes that I think Brielle and I are doing right now are like, we are looking at every sentence and the flow of the chapters. But if you do that before you know that everything comes together, sometimes it's hard though, because then you don't know, like, is it coming together or is the writing just really garbage? Like, it's a hard balance, which is why I really suggest plotting really well. So you don't have to do all the work of deciphering, like, is it just messy or does it not make sense? Like, it's hard.
You make a good point though, Alyssa. Like, it's easy for me to say that now, but like at the time, like that there's a reason why a first draft is a first draft. And like, yeah, that's a good point of like, it might be a thing where you need to get it out as quickly as possible. And then you can be intentional to this level.
But I also think what you're saying is right too. Like, I think it's a both and of like, get through it as quickly as possible. But as you're getting through it, like really think about it. Like really think about like, okay, does this actually make sense? Really, our advice is to lock yourself in a room for a month and like have your brain
think of
explode
nothing else
and think of nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that helpful, Emily?
Is that really helpful advice? Go 0 dark 30.
I feel like this, okay, low key, this, I'm going to try to bring this full circle. This is very reminiscent of what we were talking about earlier, though, where it's like the true advice is not a super clean cut piece of advice. You know what I mean? It's very much like this, but also this, and keep in mind that blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a nebulous process.
It is.
There's no clear instructions on how to do this, you know? Okay. Let's see. Maybe we'll do one more little baby one.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I feel like this topic has fallen off the radar a little bit. Do you ever feel like filming your writing process makes it harder to write?
As a verbal processor, no. I feel like it makes it easier for me, which is rare. I really do not feel like this is a common experience. But like, I never know what I'm going to say in a vlog clip. I finish writing and then I start recording and then I verbally process everything about the scene and how I'm feeling about the scene. And then I'm like, oh, and then by the end of the clip, I'm like, great, I know what to do now. Because if I didn't like verbally go through like, how am I feeling about this? What am I doing next? I might just think like, okay, I finished that scene. It's done. You know, and also filming, I verbally process my way into writing. Like if I start filming and I'm like, I think I might write later. And let me talk about this scene in depth for 37 minutes. And then now I'm ready to write it, you know? If I didn't have this camera to talk to, I don't know who I would be talking to. I used to like call people with this stuff and they're probably very grateful that I no longer call them with like random updates. But again, this is a very rare experience. Like, I don't think this is common. But yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely have a different relationship with it. I don't think I've ever realized something from filming, like processed anything from filming. I feel like I need another person responding to me in order to reach realizations.
You just have to talk to yourself.
I will say, I feel like the relationship between filming and writing for me has changed drastically versus when I first started AuthorTube. Like literally in those days, it was like, I would not write if I was not recording it and talking about it. Like those were the only times I was writing. And I think it was just because I didn't have a writing habit. And so I was like, the content was what was making me show up, you know? And now I feel very differently where it's like, I could not film for 2 weeks and I would still get the natural desire to write. You know what I mean? So for me, I think, first of all, I've accepted at this point that like my most productive writing sessions are not going to be like when I'm being perceived by a camera. You know what I mean? I need to like put it away to really get in the flow, and that's okay. But I think overall it's had a net positive in terms of my writing progress and consistency, because I don't think like when I look at it long term, big picture, I don't think if if I didn't have a platform to update, I think I wouldn't have gotten this far with this project. So
Yeah.
I'll take the cons of like sometimes feeling a little bit like too watched or like, okay, I need to put a camera away, I'm getting tired. Like I'll take those cons for the fact that it has had so many benefits on my writing progress. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's a good point. Like, I was thinking back on like before I started YouTube, like 2 years ago now, I was writing, but I wasn't writing to this degree at all
Mm-hmm.
in any sense of the word. Like, I feel like people see my content and think like Alyssa is writing all the time and she's locked in and she's like been writing for years. And it's like before this, I really only wrote like once a week, maybe. And
Mm-hmm.
I would finish things like kind of haphazardly. Like I wouldn't really like lock in and have like a regular writing practice. Um, so yeah, I would agree. It's like a net positive to update. And it
Mm-hmm.
started with updating people who like, I don't know, I got like 0 comments on my videos for like months, but it was just like a nice record. And now it's like people care about like I went 7 days without posting and people were like, Alyssa, where are the updates? How is the book going? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also something to be said for like there are different types of vlogging. And so I think I would argue for both of us, what we do isn't so much like the camera is there for the entire writing session and both before and directly after we're updating. It's much more like, here's today's update. I'm going to talk about the last couple sessions I've had. Okay, now I'm going to purposely record some B-roll. Like it's not like literally the camera's there for the whole writing process all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that helps. Like it feels less invasive on the writing itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
I love that
Amazing.
question.
That was a good question. Okay, how do we feel? Should we wrap up? Should we do a
What are you
baby?
thinking? What are you thinking?
I mean, I would be down to do another sprint, but
A
I don't
little,
know.
I would do a little baby sprint.
A little baby sprint?
Yeah, like a little 15-minute.
I think we should do it.
Yeah, let's do a little, what is that called? Oh, never mind. I won't be able to figure out the word in time. Like a little like night, like a, it's not a shot. It's not a shot. Like I'm thinking of like a shot, but like it's not like a chaser. A chaser. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
But it would
okay,
have been, I
chaser.
think that would have worked if I had like known the word right away and just said it. A nightcap. This is, yes. Thank you, people. Thank you, people. The people knew.
Oh, also cool down
A
could
cool
work.
down. Like if you're on
Uh-huh.
the Stairmaster and then you like press cool down.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'm vibing with the cool down concept. Love. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, a little nightcap.
Amazing. I'll queue up a 15-minute. That's so fun. Okay, cool.
But that means I have to write for 15 more minutes, Brielle.
Listen, and you're gonna do such a good job. It's gonna be so great. This is gonna be my longest stream in like months and months and months. Wow.
Look at us.
All right. We'll see you in 15 to close it out. Bye.
Man, I kind of wish that would have been longer. TBH.
Wow, the confetti. I feel similarly. I'm so close to the end of what I've written now that I'm like, damn.
Now I'm like locked in, clocked in.
Love. Well, no one's stopping you from writing afterwards.
This is true.
No
This
one
is
is
true.
stopping you from writing afterwards. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes.
Where can the people find you?
The people can find me on the YouTube. Alyssa and the books, right? It's and
Yeah.
the yeah. Alyssa and the books. I'm sure I'm tagged, hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Although now I'm wondering if I did that.
I feel like you maybe did. Yeah. Alyssa and the books. Lots of vlogs. I do streams usually like once or twice at 6 a.m. Central Time a week. So come hang there. I'm also on Instagram, Alyssa Writes Books, where I post nothing.
Love it. Cool. Amazing. Well, thanks for joining, and I hope it was productive for everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for rolling up. Appreciate it. And see you next time.
Yeah, we'll
thanks
see you
for
soon.
being here. Bye, guys.